iPhone 5S versus iPhone 6 versus iPhone SE Beta 1 speed test coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 5S versus the iPhone 6 versus the iPhone SE iOS 11. Now iOS 11 was released on June 5th, which was a few days ago, and now we're going to go ahead and test on iOS 11, and we're going to do a boot up test, an applications test, a multitasking test, a Geekbench test. We're going to check the camera and check the battery drain that is going on with these phones in this video. So let's get into that right now. Alright guys, so I'm going to begin with the boot up test on all three devices in 3, 2, and let's go. And you should see they are all booting up now at the same time. In this order is how they were released. And this is an area where pretty much all three devices do take a while to boot up. Specifically, the iPhone 5S has been really dragging in this department. A7 chipset on the iPhone 5S, 1 gig of RAM. A8 chipset, slight improvement over the A7, 1 gig of RAM here on the iPhone 6, and we have an A9 chipset, 2 gigs of RAM here on the iPhone SE, but all are running pretty buggy here, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the 6 is a little bit faster than the SE even here in this beta, because they've all been really running pretty buggy. So the SE says, I'm the fastest on the boot up, I'm the boot up champ here, and we're just going to speed this video up if it takes more than another 5 seconds. So there is the iPhone 6, so the iPhone 6 well ahead of the 5S, and you can just see how long this 5S just takes to boot up, and there it goes about 5 seconds later. So all three extremely slow on the boot up, but it goes SE, iPhone 6, and then the iPhone 5S. Alright guys, so you know that we're on iOS 11 just by looking at these control centers for the 5S, the 6, and the SE here. Now the 5S actually has a bug. I'm going to show you guys where the battery charge is on each of these so we can see how it drains throughout this test here. On the 5S, I'm going to have to use Lyrium info because the percentage is not working here in beta 1. So 48% here charge on the iPhone 5S. Over here on the iPhone 6, we are rocking out with about 68. I'm going to turn off Bluetooth to make this fair. So let me go ahead and pinch in here and make sure that's off. So it says not connected, but it does show that it is on. So there's a bug right there again on the iPhone 6. So you can see this is a very buggy operating system so far. So going into Bluetooth, you can see the control center Bluetooth says it's off, but I had to go into the settings to turn it off. So a lot of things to be worked out here. iPhone SE, again, it looks like we have an issue with the Bluetooth being off in the control center. Going over here into the settings department, I'm going to have to turn it off manually here in the settings. So that's definitely a bug here in iOS. If developers are watching this, take note. So basically, generally navigating through the UI, when you first boot into iOS on any of these devices, the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 6, or the iPhone SE, they all pretty much seem to run efficient. You go through the control center and you're like, oh, this is really nice. I got the new latest software update. And then you start to see things like that Bluetooth issue we had earlier, or you see apps that cannot be supported in iOS 11 yet. And then you start to realize, oh crap, what did I do? I'm now on a beta. And that's why I don't recommend you do this unless you actually know how to revert back. Pretty easy to do. Let me know if you guys want to see how to do that down below in the comment section. But let's go ahead and close everything out here now, and let's begin on this app test. So I'm gonna close everything out there, close everything out there. And if you haven't seen iOS 11, here's a new task switcher, by the way. Coming home, I do have the same applications lined up on all devices connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Alright guys, so let's begin with the calculator on all three devices in 3, 2, and let's go. And you can see the SE smoking on the calculator there, both the 6 and the 5S. Coming home here, looks like I don't know which one went home first there. You guys let me know down below. What about the phone application? 3, 2, let's go. And you can see phone ready to go there first, SE, 6, 5S. So it's looking like the SE is still hanging on to the lead here in this test. So it looks like the 5S is going home first on that one. Let's go into weather here in 3. Okay, I accidentally hit it there on the 6. The 6 is too excited to get going. Let's go into the weather here in 3, 2, let's go. And this is an area in iOS 7, or did I just say iOS 7? This is an area in iOS 11 that has changed. It's now bigger. If you scroll down, it's bigger down here. It's also bigger in the weather section right here where it shows the hourly. So if you guys have bad eyes, it's going to be good for you. What about the camera? 3, 2, let's go. and you can see SE ready to go, 6, and then 5S as expected. Let's go into the YouTube application in 3, 2, 1. Here we get into third-party based apps, and you can see the SE doing quite well there, then the 6, and now the 5S coming home here. Let's go into the Twitter application, 3, 2, let's go. Another third-party based application, iPhone SE. Ooh, those two boys struggling over there. 6 and the 5S about the same. What about the eBay application? 3, 2, and hit that one again. Hold on. eBay, 3, 2, let's go. And you can see eBay ready to go there first for the iPhone SE, and got the 6 and the 5S coming home here. Let's go into Instagram. 3, 2, let's go. And you can see again the SE smoking the 6 and the 5S. Well, definitely not so much the 6, it's really smoking the 5S though. Let's go into, let's see, Jetpack Joyride. This is a game on all 3 devices. Let me make sure the mute switches are off here before we get some Jetpack Joyride theme song going on over there. So let's go into Jetpack Joyride in 3, 2, let's go. And you can see which one opens first here. Looks like we got the SE ready to go. And this is GPU related, so this shouldn't really matter with the iOS 11, but you should see iPhone 6 now second, and now the iPhone, wow, the 5S is just getting slow, definitely showing its age, guys. Let's go into Safari in 3, 2, let's go. You can see the SE ready to go, now the 6. Let's go ahead and run a test though. Apple.com, they just updated their website with a bunch of new products. So Apple.com here for the iPhone 6, Apple.com here for the iPhone 5S. 3, 2, let's go on all 3 devices, and you should see iPhone SE, iPhone 6, and 5S about the same. So the SE still looking like the phone for the future here. Alright guys, so what about multitasking on all 3 devices? Let's see how iOS is handling this department. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the multitasking tray, and you can see just swiping through each of the devices, again, it would fool you into thinking it's very smooth, but it's actually not when you start doing things day to day. Let's go into calculator. You can see all doing well in terms of the system app. So what about another third-party app? Let's go into Instagram, for example. And let's see right here, Instagram, actually a reload on the SE, surprisingly. Let's go into YouTube here. Let's go into YouTube on all 3 devices. YouTube, 3, 2, let's go. You see pretty good. So it's actually handling the time of opening the application, not bad there on the iPhone iOS 11 for all of these. But you can see there's just a little bit of chop there when you're going like this through the applications. Just a little bit of chop on the multitasking. So definitely not quite as smooth as I would like, but not bad overall for a first beta here for all 3 of these devices. So it looks like that we have a winner here. The iPhone SE is definitely the fastest phone here, even with the iOS 11 beta. You know, I thought betas were slow on all of these, but A9, 2 gigs of RAM, it's still showing that it's faster even in these beta editions of iOS and the older phones. Let's go into Geekbench and run a Geekbench on all of these devices, and I will be back when they are done. So let's go to CPU. We're gonna hit run benchmark, and we're gonna see the final scores of the iPhone 5S, iPhone 6, iPhone SE, iOS 11 Geekbench. Alright guys, so we got a 2526 here on the iPhone SE single core, 4360 on the multi-core, so still a monster here in scoring. Over here on the 5S, about double on both less, so 1284 on the single core, 2175 on the multi-core here. Now I did do the iPhone 6, but it crashed, so we're still waiting on this one. I will be back. If it crashes again, that means there's an issue with iOS 11 in the Geekbench app. Alright guys, so the iPhone 6 did finish, so there's in fact no bug, it just didn't work the first time. 2568 on the multi-core, 1560. You can compare the scores here and see that the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 5S are very close. The iPhone SE just stumping them in the, did I say stumping them? Stomping them in the Geekbench scoring here. So definitely a win there to the SE. So that's pretty much it here for iOS 11 on the iPhone 5S versus the iPhone 6 versus the iPhone SE. But let's go ahead and check that battery before we go ahead and end this video. So like I say, I have to go in the Lyrium info here for the iPhone 5S and check it out here. Let's go into the battery section once that loads. We can actually check the 6 in a second as well. Let me go into the hamburger menu. We're gonna go into this device. We're gonna go down to battery, and you can see 42%. So the iPhone 5S lost about 6% in this small short testing here. The iPhone 6 lost about 6% as well. It was about 68, 67. So about the same drain there for the iPhone 6. What about the SE now? So the SE lost about 4%. So the SE is definitely the best draining battery life here of these three in this battery drain test throughout this video here. Very slight drain on the SE, or a little bit of a larger drain on both the A8 and the A7. So that might show that iOS is better optimized for the more recent processors. But that's going to wrap it up here for me. Post your comments down below what you thought about iOS 11. Are you going to be downloading it when the official comes out? Are you going to be downloading when the other betas come out, like beta 2? Do you want to see this content continue on the beta of these devices? Drop that down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Catch you all in the next one. Be sure to be well, and peace.